Welcome to the second episode on automating Photoshop with actions. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to create action sets and actions. Remember, actions are always stored inside of action sets. Now, we could go ahead and create an action and add it to any one of the action sets that are already loaded into our instance of Photoshop. But to keep things nice and neat and organized, let's go ahead first and let's create an action set. So we go up here to the flyout menu and we select the option New Set. The action that we're going to go ahead and make here will be to add a little bit of noise to this sepia tone photograph. So let's just call the new set Add Noise. Now we want to go ahead and we want to start our action. To do that, we go back to the flyout menu and we select the new action option. We can call it the same thing, not a problem in Photoshop. We could select a new set to add it to, but in this case, let's go ahead and add it to the action set we just made, Add Noise. And to start our action, we just click the record button. At this point, Photoshop will record all the steps that we go through. In order to add some noise to this photograph, I suggest that we start off by making a new layer. We go over here to Layer. If we want to, we can even give it a name right now. Instead of using normal mode, let's use overlay. And it's really important here that we click this box for the overlay layer mode, fill with overlay neutral color 50% gray. That'll save us having to do that step. Click OK. We now have our new layer for Add Noise. And now we can go over to Filter, Noise, and select the Add Noise filter. 20% here might be a little strong, but it makes it easy enough for you to see in this small video. Gaussian distribution, monochromatic, settings look good. We click on OK. And at this point, we now have a layer that adds some noise to our photograph. We can stop recording our action by clicking this little icon right here. And now Photoshop will no longer record all of our steps. You want to see the effect of the Add Noise filter? You can just toggle it on and off right here. At this point, you would probably want to test your new action. So let's go ahead. Let's delete the step that we made. And let's go ahead and let's run through all the steps in our new action. So we go back up here, click on the Add Noise action at the top. Make certain we start from the first step. Once we start playing the action, Photoshop's going to run it from the point that we're at. We wouldn't want to run it from the Add Noise step here. We want to make certain that we get our new layer in there. So we go up here first, and now we simply click this icon right here, Play Selection. And there we have it. We could now add this same amount of noise to any photograph simply by clicking on this action. Before I close this video, there's one other thing I want to make you aware of, and that is that this action set and this action have not yet been saved. When you load an action set into Photoshop, Photoshop stores it in a cache. It has its own little location that it tucks it away in. But if your Photoshop installation gets corrupt, then that action set and the actions that are inside of it can get lost. If you want to be able to share your actions with somebody else, or you want to be able to make a backup copy in case your Photoshop installation gets corrupt, or when you decide you want to update Photoshop, in order to be able to move those actions, you need to save them first to the hard drive, and that requires an extra step. People often forget that in Photoshop. What you see inside Photoshop for action sets and action steps are there in a cache. In order to save our action sets to the hard drive, we want to go up here, and we want to select the Save Actions option. Before that option will be enabled, however, you have to have enabled an action set and not just an individual action. So let's go over here, make sure we select Add Noise. That's our action set. Now, if we go over here, we can select Save Actions. That will open up a basic dialog. Photoshop's already aware of what we might want to call it. Down here, Add Noise, and you'll see that it will add the extension ATN for a Photoshop action. Click Save, and now it's been saved to the hard drive. One last point, and I promise this is the last point for this little short video. We can go ahead and we can delete this now. We can delete this right here in Photoshop by simply dragging it down here to the trash can. We haven't really deleted the copy that we stored on the hard drive. We've only deleted it from Photoshop's memory cache. We can go back and load that action set anytime we want to. Just simply go back up here, click Load Actions, and there's the action we made, safe and sound. Double click on it, and it's back. So if you accidentally delete an action set from Photoshop, you haven't really deleted the file until you've physically gone out, used your file manager, and deleted that ATN file. You can always go back and recover it by using the menu option for loading actions. I'm Glenn Mitchell from thelightsright.com. Cheers.